Working for the weekend, then I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So Town Radio Show.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to All Around Town Radio for a nooner here. We've been experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty today, and without any further, I'm going to bring them into the show. Well, I'm going to bring one of them into the show visually and one of them in vocally as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mark Cooper from Crown Watts and Billy McCarthy from the Billy Rock Band. But Billy's having some camera issues with us, but he's here.
I'll do this for Billy. This one's for Billy.
That's for Billy. There we go.
Thank you.
How you doing, Billy? You doing all right?
I'm good. Now listen, just imagine I'm freshly showered and looking my best.
You know, live stuff. You got to love it. And yeah, we've never experienced this with Billy. He's been on the show several times. It won't identify his camera for some reason. And so he's going to talk to us today. And as you're joining us on the show, if you have any questions for these two gentlemen, please throw them in the comments. We'll pop them up there. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining us today. Good to have you with us. And let me get started. Let me get started here. It is so cool to have you guys with us. I have enjoyed both of your bands separately, but you're putting together a collaboration we're going to talk about today. But before we get started with that, I want a little history. Let's start with Crown Watts. Mark, you're up there. You're the visual medium today. So tell us what's going on and how long Crown Watts has been playing, all the history, background, everything you can do in a minute. All right.
All right, in a minute. I met Ryan Simpson, our drummer. I met him in 2015. We were in an original band called Highway Radio with Pete Adams, who's a great singer, and Danny Hunt, who's our original keyboard player. And, we did a record that kind of went its own way, and just decided to call Ryan one day and say, hey, you want to play a bunch of weird songs in the basement? Just for fun, because most bar bands don't play 10-minute long songs.
Yeah, I get it.
So we got together with Johnny Kays, who I was playing with in different arrangements, and took us about 6 months to learn the first 6 songs. And then we just went on from there. So yeah, we started, that was probably 2017. So we're in our 7th year now, and we know more than 6 songs now. So
yeah, just a few. But yeah, and you guys, I enjoy, and I always tell people, Crown Watts is a technically perfect band. You guys just aspire, I think, to be perfect musician wise and vocally and all that. But it's not what I would refer to if somebody said, "Tell me the top party bands in town." That's not it. You guys are the band that people go to hear the music that they truly love, and everybody in your audience is laser focused on you guys as you're playing. So I find that to be a music lover's show, so to speak.
It is. That's what we strive towards. And it is nerve-wracking when people are going the whole time. It's a lot of fun. No, people can't come out to dance. I'm sorry. If you can dance to us, God bless you,
You're a free spirit.
That's not what we're doing. Yeah. We feel like, there's a ton of great bands in town that you can dance to, that do what they do great. And so we just felt like we didn't need to add to that. We wanted to do something that would give somebody else a different angle, that a lot of bands haven't taken.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Yeah, and Mark, thank you for that brief synopsis of Crown Watts, and I will echo what you say. And it is a place where music lovers go to hear great music, and call it what you want. I've heard you described as prog rock and all this other stuff, but you guys, you just play songs that a lot of times you don't hear out, and like you said, it's not, nobody's going to play Uptown Funk while you're there, and no, not knocking anybody that does, but that's just not your style, and it's a
Right.
good deal. And anybody that loves great music will love Crown Watts. And Billy, you're on the opposite kind of side of the spectrum in a way. My wife referred to you as one of her favorite AM jam bands, AM radio jams back from the 70s. And you're doing all those great tunes that come in. What made you decide to take that route with the Billy Rock Band?
Well, first of all, thanks again for having us, Scott. I got a lot of love for you, brother, and what you do for our community is I wanted to say that up front and let you know how much we in the music community absolutely love you and support you, and how proud I am of what you've been able to accomplish.
Well, thank you so
Sure.
much. I appreciate that a lot. And
Well,
we're just here to support local, man. That's what we want to do, and that's what you guys are doing. And
well, you've made a serious and lifelong impact in our music community here, and it needs to be said out loud how much we appreciate you. But moving on into kind of our history and why we have um, kind of built the show that we have. I formed Billy Rock Band in 2009, and really, Scott, it was a collection of feel good vibes that I had growing up in the 70s and 80s. We're at a point where, at least at my advanced age, we're losing that generation of artists and musicians that we grew up listening to. And I've been very fortunate in having been given the opportunity to play with many of those singers that I listened to as a child, that are all, 20, 25 years my senior. And the idea with Billy Rock Band was kind of just a band where you could pull that decompression valve. Everybody's working and burning the candle at both ends. And it's incredible when you think about how vibrant and alive our local and live music scene is. That does not exist without our friends and fan base, and they are the true heroes in this equation, because we can develop all kinds of shows and music and rehearsals and all the efforts that it takes to get to the stage. But if people don't show up, we might as well stay in the basement. So it's really it's important to mention that. And the style of music really, again, is kind of, I always jokingly say they are the songs that you forgot you loved. And so really, it's just about taking people back on a journey to songs that they remember and attach to good times in their youth.
I love that. Songs that you forgot you loved. I love that line because that is so true. And when I said AM jams earlier, I mean it really it morphs into AM radio when it morphed into FM radio and everybody was listening. It's all that era of music. And when I go to one of your shows, Billy, it's a step back in time, remembering great times you had when maybe I threw the 8-track in the car and slid it into that slot and listened to those same bands you're playing and all those things. So it really is a great thing that you're doing. And you guys both, you seem to very much enjoy what you do. And Mark, you're out front there. You're the one that those people are staring at all the time. And Billy, you're on the drum kit, being the lead of this band in some ways. It's very interesting, and you seem to feed off your audience. Can you talk about that, either one of you, a little bit, and how the audience drives your energy to do what you do?
Mark, why don't you drive on this one? I'll pick up the caboose.
You know, just as far as the feeling of the crowd when we're playing a song that I thought only the band and two other people knew or whatever. And I look out there and I see a guy or a girl just kind of do a double take and get so excited. Um, to me, that's why we do it. It's, we do play some off the wall stuff, but just to touch that one person, and that one person is kind of freaking out, like can't believe that we're playing a song like that at a bar. Um, that's what really gets us going. Like I said, we don't play dance music, so that's how we get the feedback from the crowd. When you touch somebody like that, and it's powerful, and that's what keeps us going. Now, most of the time, I'm too busy trying to not screw something up because I'm doing two things at the same time. So I don't have a lot of time to like dwell on the crowd situation. I'm just trying not to crash and burn up there.
Mark, you do look serious on stage sometimes. I will say that I use the term intense. You're definitely intense.
Yeah, you have to. It's like an oncoming train for 3 straight hours, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to get hit by it. So it's not intentional. I'm a pretty lighthearted guy, but on stage, man, you got to keep yourself in order. For sure.
Let me bump down to Billy, the man in black down there, because he's literally in black today. He cleaned up for the show and everything, but his darn camera won't work for us.
I have a feeling he woke up with I think he woke up with a big zit on his nose, and he's just using this technical thing.
I love it.
Billy,
what's your view on all this?
Well, a lot along the lines of what Mark was saying. There's this dynamic that exists with the audience, and a lot of people will kind of see it as us and you, and I see it more as we. That space that we're sharing together is ours. We all own it, and the energy that we garner from the audience is the rock fuel that we use on stage. We talk about tearing down the fourth wall or the third wall, and that's that moment when you feel like there is no more division between you as a performer and the audience. You guys are active participants. You're as much a part of the show as we are. There's a symbiosis that occurs when you feel that connection. And it is at that time where, as Mark had mentioned, sometimes, he looks, really intense, but I can totally relate with him that there are a lot of zeros and ones happening inside our head on stage when we're trying to sing and play an instrument. And all musicians, I'm sure everybody out there that plays can appreciate that reality. But when you become a persona on stage, that occurs when that wall is broken down and you feel like you are connected to the audience. And it really is in many ways helpful because it allows me to get out of my own way. I've rehearsed these songs 100,000 times. The muscle memory is there. Just like with a great gymnast, they go through a routine countless times, but they have to stick the landing when they're doing their floor exercise or whatever in front of, a crowd of people. And there's a similar analogy with us performing. And I think that ease in my mind is there and opened up when I feel like there is a real legitimate symbiotic connection with the crowd.
And I'm glad it's afternoon. You've used symbiotic twice, and if it were morning, I would be having trouble with that. But I totally,
Scott, I'm just trying to create.
I totally get it.
Symbiosis. There's right. 3 times.
There we go. But okay, so for those who have never seen you guys play before, either one of you, real quick, as we're finishing up here about the histories of your band, let's talk about some of the songs that they may hear when they come to your show. Billy, start with you at the bottom there.
Well, we're going to be, kind of turning the pages through that great decade of music, and you'll hear, artists from Alan Parsons to the Doobie Brothers in our set, along with Zeppelin. We have some really exciting surprises for our combined set of stuff that we have not performed live on stage. Some of it Mark has deemed as a mystery for all the people that will be coming, but you'll definitely hear some of the greats that you loved from our shows in the past. Hall and Oates. You might hear some Gary Wright. All those icons from our favorite decade, 1970 to 1980.
All right. How about you, Mark?
Well, anything with a lot of notes in it.
No doubt.
We do a lot of 70s stuff, but really anything that is just musically interesting to us. So we'll do a little what I would call modern, which isn't even that modern, like Muse or Dream Theater or things like that. But we stick with a lot of the Rush and Yes, and a lot of this classic 70s progressive rock. So I feel like Billy and I, we kind of do the same feel, but different music. So it's just interesting to me that, our crowd is a little bit of an overlap, but they get to see different music. It's kind of interesting the way it's kind of come together.
Right. And like I said earlier, Mark, I love when I go to one of your shows and I hear songs that I would never hear another band play out. I mean, normally it's just not something that gets played out in the bar scene, and you guys are special that way. And I'm glad you own the fact that you're not a dance band and you don't want to be a dance band. There's a lot of those and they're great, but you want to play the music that some people really dig and love, and they come to see you because of that.
I think it's because most bands don't want to spend 1 month learning one song. That probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, we do what we do, and other bands do what they do great. And,
I'm looking at some comments here. We're getting a lot of comments. Hi, Jonathan Grooms. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you, Jim McCarthy. And I do want to say, though, we want to talk about, and the reason you guys are on here today, and I wish so much we had Billy's visual today so we could see him there, but we're doing what we can do. I want to talk about this show that's very exciting that you have coming up on Friday the 17th. And this collaboration that you're talking about, and Mark, you said there's some mystery to it. Can we get any hints on the mystery maybe of the two bands coming together?
Well, I mean, about the only thing I can say is that we did this back in November, and it was kind of an experimental thing. I don't want to say it was thrown together. It did take a little planning, but this show has taken a lot more planning and a lot more rehearsals. So there's just going to be a lot more meat on that bone for anybody that came out in November to see the last time we tried this, which thank you, which was great. It's just going to be what you saw in November, but more and a little deeper. And like I said, Scott, we've got some surprises, but if I tell you, it won't be a surprise. So.
Oh, come on, man. I had the mystery sound all queued up. We can do that and everything. So yes, we don't know.
I like that.
We don't, but
Right.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about this show. Let's talk about the theater, first of all. Newly remodeled. You guys are going to be in there. It's a beautiful facility from what I've seen photo-wise. I've not been in it since it's been remodeled, but tell me about that, Billy.
Yeah, they have put a considerable amount of money into their renovation, and I think that the goal there was to kind of restore it to its original beauty in many ways. And we were there when they were still under construction, when we did a site visit several months ago. And, I think we had already decided that was going to be the place for this next event. And we're excited that we are I think maybe one of the first.
I think we are the first band.
Yeah, the first show of this type, to kind of get them back out into the public eye. And 20th Century Theater is an icon in Cincinnati. It has a rich history, and I've seen several national acts there over the years, and have been on the stage 2 or 3 times in my history, and it'll just be really exciting to be in there with you know uh, new renovations, and the theater looks beautiful. So we're honored to be able to step on that stage and give you guys a show.
Perfect. And we're
I think
scrolling the bottom of the
prettier than it
screen
was when
too. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mark. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I wasn't there when it was brand new. I don't think I was born. I mean, I'm old, but I don't think I'm that old. But I think it might actually be prettier than it was when it was brand new. It is just absolutely amazing. So, really, I put some pictures up of it online, and they don't even do it justice. Like, it's just
Yeah, the
fabulous.
photos look beautiful, and we're scrolling the bottom of the screen about the show. There, it's Friday, May 17th. Doors are at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. This is an all ages show, also, folks, and tickets are available at cincyticket.com if you want to get tickets to it. And we've got a little banner that goes up there, and it says Billy Watts, Rock Heroes of the 70s, and of course Crown Watts, the Billy Rock Band, coming together at the 20th Century Theater. And give me the location of the theater. I did not put that on the scroller there, guys. Do you know it off the top of your head?
Ooh,
That's a
That's bad.
stumper. Yeah.
I should know that.
Billy's like he's on a game show right now trying to win the prize. He's Googling in the background because we can't
Yeah,
see
he
him.
could Google
Yes.
right now. I mean, why not?
Billy, are you with us?
I am, and it's Madison. Let me see if I can't find the actual, and I'm not sure. I think some of our promos that we've put out on social media do have the actual address, but I'm gonna
It's right in the heart of Oakley Square. Just right
Right.
there where Eglomisi's is and all that stuff. It's got a towering sign that you can probably see from 2 miles away, so it's pretty hard to miss.
yeah,
That's a good one.
it's 3021 Madison Road in Cincinnati, but Mark is correct in that it's in the heart of Oakley, nestled in that little entertainment district, which has also been renovated and revitalized. So it's a great area of town.
Awesome. Outstanding. And again, you're going to start at 7:30. Who's going to roll out first? You said you're doing each doing a set and then doing a collaborative set. Who's going to roll out first?
Mark, you want to take that?
Yeah, we're gonna kind of do what we did last time with maybe a little wrinkle in it, but we didn't, we didn't want to have one band play before the other band, and so everybody perceives that as the opener and the headliner and whatever. So we tried this kind of theory of alternating sets, and so that's what we'll be doing again. I'm not sure who's going to start first this time. I think we still have to work that out, but instead of having one band start, one band finish, and then we collaborate, it'll be 25, 30 minutes of each band back and forth until we get to the end and we do the super band. So
Perfect. I like you call it a
just more
super
fun.
band. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super band. That's amazing. So
yeah, we wanted to keep it to where it's back and forth and it's not just one thing at a time.
let me ask a question here because inquiring minds want to know, and you kind of hit on it a little bit, but why the collaboration between these two projects? Why did you guys decide to put this together and make it a night for everyone with both of you?
Can I field this one?
Yes.
You got it.
So Scott, we actually do have a history. Mark and I have played before together with Noah Hunt. I did a couple of years with Johnny Kays playing with the infamous Kevin Fox and a few other random shows. So there was already, we all had a relationship in the past. And one of the things that I love about our city and our town is that although the music clique may appear to be, smaller, it's very cohesive. And everyone that I know, um, we're all cheerleaders for each other. It's the idea of a rising tide raises all ships. We can only survive and thrive in the industry that we're in with that connective tissue, that support that we give each other. So I'm always proud to see friends of mine do well in this town, and I think it bodes well for all of us. And the conversations that Mark and I had in the past were always kind of said with a bit of a chuckle, we should probably do something together sometime. So I think it was just really actualizing that, instead of talking about it. And so that first litmus test was that show we did in November at MVPs. And I left with a lot of good feelings off stage. So I think that kind of propelled us to say, let's do this again.
Perfect.
Bigger, yeah.
Can you all mention the musicians that are going to be playing with you, the folks that are not on the show today that are going to join you on stage?
Well, my guys are John Michael, or John Case, on bass, Tim Cornelius on keyboards, and the machine gun, Ryan Simpson on the drums, and of course myself.
And for me, I'm partnered up, as I always am, with two incredible musicians who I also have a history with, Alex Lush on bass, who also plays guitar, and the matador himself, Christian Robles, on lead guitar in my band. I have a history with both of those guys. Alex and I met in the studio in 1998, went on tour with an artist for about 2.5 years. Got put on the road with Blessed Union and a few other acts as we kind of circumnavigated the United States. And Christian, I met in 2001, I believe, when I answered the call for a new drummer for a funk band called Worldwide, which is fantastic, which is now kind of morphed into a band called Just Strange Brothers, which is phenomenal. And so I partnered up with those guys a while ago. Alex actually replaced our founding father, Mr. Chris Hooks, who is also an amazing musician as well. And so Alex answered that call once Hooks decided to hang up his bass, although he still plays with us on occasion, which I'm grateful for. But that's basically how the three of us came together. And they're both, half the time I'm just trying to hold on for dear life with them. They're both so good at what they do.
We got a question. Got a question.
Elaborate a little bit. A big reason that I wanted to do this with Billy is because I'm a Billy Watts fan. I mean, I love those guys. I loved them before we really even got Crown Watts going, and I like all those guys personally a lot. Even though Billy tried to beat me up with an ironing board with that show we played with Noah after the show, not on stage. But it was
in a loving way.
It was, and that's never happened to me since. I've never had anybody try to get at me with an ironing board. But anyway, it just felt good. It felt like the two bands were symbiotic. We enjoy each other's company.
That's 5 on that word today.
I was just a fan, and I was just like, man, this could be a lot of fun for our crowd. And so far, the first one was, and I think it's going to be even more fun on next Friday.
Perfect. All right, we've got a question from Valerie. It's loaded, I'm sure, because it looks like she won a raffle prior. She said, will there be a raffle at this show?
Ooh. I don't think we've thought about that yet.
Somebody said she's not allowed to win again. Kevin, thank you for that. So obviously Valerie is trying to load this question a little bit on us here. And what'd she say? She says she needs another drum head. There we go. Well, sounds like raffle needs to happen. Right.
we've been working on the music so much we haven't gotten to that, but I'm sure we've got 7 or 8 days left, so we'll see what we can put together.
All
Yeah,
right,
last time we put a swag, what we call a swag bag together from both bands, along with an autographed graphic drum head, which I was so happy that Valerie was able to win. She has been such a wonderful friend and uh, supporter of local and live music, and
It's awesome.
so I was very very happy to see her win. She certainly deserved it. But yeah, we that's not out of the realm of possibilities. We'll see what we can come up with.
All right. So, what do you guys have to add about the show coming up Friday the 17th? Anything else you want to throw in there before we have to run today?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think we've covered a lot of it. Um, I think it will be a really special night. I think everybody that'll come for the music, but also the venue because it's just a really beautiful place to hang out. And like I said, we're doing everything we can to give everybody one hell of a show next Friday.
Outstanding. How about you, Billy? Anything else to add?
I'll just add that the atmosphere and environment that we're going to try and create with this show is one of joy. We as we mentioned earlier love that decade of music, and if you're wanting to come back and take a ride with us to a great decade of music, you'll find yourself in the right place.
All right. Well, we're having some technical issues again. Folks that watch the show know this has been an ongoing issue the last few weeks. So we don't have Billy via video, and we just froze up, but we still have audio. So we're going to go out here with a bang, and we're going to talk about this show on the 17th again at the 20th Century Theater. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Tickets are available at cincyticket.com on that, guys. And then you can follow. If you'd like to follow, you can follow Crown Watts at Crown Watts on the Book of Face, and also the Billy Rock Band at billy.rock.band on Facebook if you want to follow them individually. And guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a wonderful show, and despite the technical issues, thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful show. I will be out of the country, unfortunately, for that one, so won't get to see it, but I'm sure I'll live vicariously through videos and everything else people are sending to the social. So thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say one more time, I really appreciate what you do, and don't change a thing, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Billy, and thank you, Mark, as well. You guys are top-notch entertainers in the music business here in the local scene, and we appreciate you so much. And what you said earlier, Billy, about the cohesiveness, I can't agree more. It's a wonderful community to be a part of.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. We'll catch you next time here at All Around Town Radio. We'll be live tomorrow with Who's Playing Out, brought to you by our friends at Heather's on the patio, and also the best musicians and venues in the tri-state. We're bringing it to you here. So thanks for watching today. We'll catch you next time, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Are we done?
I think so.
Okay. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. Do you have a minute? I was going to hit you up.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I still on camera? You want to just call me?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I was saying. We'll jump off here and I'll give you a quick call.
Yeah, let me log out real quick here.
Okay, see you, bud.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. I guess we're still live. If you're still there, yeah, we're still live here. And we're having all kinds of technical issues today. So there. How you doing? I'm trying to shut this shit down. Pardon my French. And we'll see if we can get rid of it here. But yeah, that's where we're at. Thanks to Mark and to Billy. Hope they didn't say anything at the end they shouldn't have said. All right. That's it. We gone. Let's see if we can get out of here. Maybe.